Good Erev Shabbos, everybody. This week's Parsha is that of R'ei. Parshas R'ei usually precedes Rosh Chodesh Elul, the month of Elul. Elul, of course, we know is the last month in our calendar that precedes the month that precedes Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. In this Parsha, it begins and says, Moshe Rabbeinu says to Klal Yisrael, R'ei, you should see, I am giving to you, before you, today, this day, brachu klala, the path for blessings, the path for a curse. Now, Moshe then presents to us the various paths, and of course is encouraging us to make the right choice. There are many interesting aspects to this first verse. First of all, Moshe says, Re'ei, behold, see that I am giving you today these paths. Why does Moshe select the aspect of sight? We should see. What is it we're looking at? Commentaries say, Moshe is saying, look at me, look at the 10 Commandments. What does he mean, look, see? What Moshe should have said, what would seem to be more appropriate, is Shema, listen. Pay attention. Hear these words, like we say, Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel. We should listen intently and we should strive to comprehend. What is the meaning of the sense of sight? See. In addition, Moshe says, Anochi noisin, I am giving you the path. I am giving you the blessing and the curse, the paths. Why does Moshe use the present tense? Is this something new? Moshe Rabbeinu, this is the 40th year. This is the generation that in the 40th year is prepared to go into the land of Israel. We received the Torah when we came out of Egypt. This is when Moshe Rabbeinu gave us the Torah, taught us the Torah, and we've been living a life of Torah. This is not something that Moshe is giving us now. The path of Hashem's blessings, this was made available to us when we stood at Sinai. Why the present tense? In addition, Moshe says, I am giving before you today. What is Moshe emphasizing by saying today? Obviously, Moshe could have said, behold, I am placing before you, I am giving you the path for blessing and success and the path for a cursed life and existence. What is Moshe emphasizing by saying today? Similarly, one of the brachas that we say, V'birchas HaTorah, asher b'chabanu mikol amim v'nasan lanu es Torah say. God has chosen us from amongst all the nations and given us his Torah. We mentioned that Hashem has chosen us in the past at Sinai. And he has given us his Torah at Sinai. And yet we conclude the blessing by saying, Baruch Ata Hashem, nosein Torah, that you are giving the Torah. We begin by referring to the fact that God has already given us the Torah, and then we state that he's giving us the Torah. Go from past tense to present tense. Why don't we conclude the bracha and say, Baruch Ata Hashem, Nosan Torah, that you've given us the Torah. Here too we have to understand the phrase of I am giving. And just one last point, in which we say in last week's Parsha, V'hoya ekev tishmon, and it shall be that on behalf of our listening to Hashem's mitzvahs, and all the commentaries question this word Akev is very strange. Akev means a heel, Akev means the lowest point, the end. What exactly is it referring to? Rashi says that if we listen to the mitzvahs that we don't appreciate, and people will step on, so to say, with the heel of their foot, that's how Rashi brings a drasha. But it says, V'hoya means, and it shall be a great simcha, a reason to rejoice, Ekev, on behalf of listening to the mitzvahs. What exactly is this expression of Ekev? The Vilna Gaon tells us that when Moshe Rabbeinu is stating for Klal Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu says, R'ei anochi nosi. I'm giving you the opportunity to make a choice. God created man, that man is very unique amongst all his creations. Angels don't have the power to choose because angels don't have any challenges. They don't have an evil inclination. Animals don't have the intellect. It is only man who was created with the bechira, the power to make a choice. This was designed so that man could make the right choice when we are challenged. And man is indeed tempted by his evil inclination. And man is trying to be persuaded by the Satan and extraneous forces. And if man makes the proper choice and overcomes his desires and these temptations, man will thereby earn the greatest good of attaching ourselves unto Hashem and earn the great reward in the world to come for all eternity. Man was created to earn, and we earn by making the proper choice. Sometimes we don't make the best choice. We need to learn from that and correct it. Moshe Rabbeinu was saying, I have presented to you, I am presenting now the paths. We can make a choice that leads to bracha, blessing, or we can unfortunately make an ill-fated choice that leads to klala, a cursed life, an empty life, a shallow life, a life that denies us the great opportunity for the world to come. But what if a person thinks and says, I look back at my life and I've made some wrong choices. I've made very poor choices. And now that I'm a little older and I'm a little wiser, and I realize the folly of my decisions, and I recognize that my life is indeed shallow, and that all the material possessions that I thought were important and making statements and going to bring happiness, I realize that they are empty expressions of a confused mind. And I'm missing the essence of my happiness and my path to a world to come. I have a lifetime in which I have made the wrong decision. Is there any hope for me now at this point in my life? No matter what age a person might be, they could be 100, they could be 90, they could be 70, they could be 50, or they could be 30. I've made so many mistakes in my life. Now I'm going to choose the right path. Is that going to make a difference? And therefore Moshe says, R'ei anochi nosein, I'm giving. I am giving. A person is not determined and not defined by the mistakes that we made in the past. Moshe purposely does not discuss the past. Moshe says, I'm giving today. What we did in the past, the decisions we made in the past, that should not influence us. Every single day is a new day. It's a new existence. It's a new opportunity to open the portals of the world to come and to find meaning in this world. I am giving you today. Today, I'm 95 years old. Today, what about my whole life? Don't worry about your whole life. Don't focus on your whole life. What if a person says, fine, I'm going to make a decision from this day on. I'm going to choose to seek out the divine word through the Torah that God gave us and through the beautiful explanations presented to us by the oral law that Moshe taught us and handed down from generation to generation, our Talmud. But what about the fact that I've got decades of sin? Does that just go away? Even if I make the choice from this point on, and that will enable me to accumulate many mitzvahs and earn reward. What about my past record? Is that just ignored and deleted? And to that, Moshe Rabbeinu says, I am giving you today. Focus on today. Because a person who is a Baal Tshuva, a person who says, I want to find meaning in my life. I want to connect with my Creator. I want to attach myself to Hashem's Torah. I want the mitzvahs to be a reality in my life. I want my heart and my soul to reflect the love that Hashem has for me and which I wish to express to Him. That person not only can make the choice from this point on, but it's as if they are recreated from this point on. And that the baggage that they have from the past, number one, even if they lived a life of intentional sin, it can be transformed into mistakes. And if a person truly calls out from the depths of their heart unto Hashem to please accept me and I regret my past, believe it or not, those transgressions can actually become merits for the person who learns from our errors. If we learn from our mistakes and we use it as building blocks to bring us closer to Hashem, not only will they not be held against us, but they can become meritorious deeds bringing us closer to Hashem. See what I am giving you today. Today, focus on today. Don't be concerned of the past. And this is so fundamental. This has to be a reality. It has to be something that is ingrained within the mind and the neshamis of every single Jew, that it should be so clear that we can visualize it. Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't say Shema, listen, comprehend, but rather recognize that every moment of every day is a new opportunity for us to bond with Hashem, not being concerned with our past. And this is so important that we should be able to see it, not just understand it, see it. See it as an emes, a true reality in the construction and the foundation of Hashem's creation of this universe. It's not by chance that this is the Parsha of Rosh Chodesh benching, the Parsha that precedes Rosh Chodesh Elul. For what is Elul? Elul is that month that enables us to prepare. Elul is, as the Bnei Yissaschar says, the Akev. It's the end of the year. The year starts with the Rosh, the head. The end of the year is the heel. This is the very end of the year, and the Hoya Akev Tishmuhim, and it shall be a great joy to Hashem and to Klal Yisrael if even at the very end of the year, the Elul, we take stock of our lives and we look back. What have I done with the life that God has granted me the past 11, 12 months? If we reflect on this and we think that we're coming to a new year, to Rosh Hashanah, Day of Judgment, to Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, to Sukkot, to dwell within the tabernacle of Hashem and rejoice with His Torah. If we reflect on this now, even at the end, even after a year of mistakes, V'hoya, it shall be great joy if in the Akev, the end of the year, Elul, we are motivated and aroused that we should listen and embrace Hashem's divine word and His mitzvahs. That's why Parshas R'ei, with Moshe's opening statement, the mission statement for Klal Yisrael, don't be concerned with the past. Don't be consumed with our mistakes. Every single day is an opportunity for a new Sinai, a new standing before Hashem and accepting His Torah and accepting His mitzvahs. This is the bracha we say. Asher bocha banu mikol ha'amim. You have chosen us. V'nosan lanu, you've given us your Torah. However, the past doesn't define us. Baruch atah Hashem, Hashem, you are the source of all blessing, the greatest blessing. But what about my past? Can I earn that blessing? Yes, because you are the nosein HaTorah. You are constantly giving the Torah. Every day is a new offering unto us. Every day we can make the proper choice. Every day we can transform our past, even with the greatest iniquities, into meritorious deeds that will enable us to not only find meaning in this world, but to enjoy the world to come for all eternity. My friends, have a wonderful Shabbos. May the month of Elul, may it truly be the path that enables us to rejoice as we reflect upon our lives. Stay healthy, stay safe.